Okay.
The
Let's get the.
fuck?
Don't swear. Why are you being like that, man?
Okay, I'll do my best. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
My dad cursed like a sailor, so and my mom, it's just and the environment I grew up in is just
All right, so my name's Mark. We all know that. I'm the ensign to the nation's channel here. So this is my channel. Soliday is someone that I worked for. I mean, well, I kind of worked for
work.
him because I was his manager, so I had to freaking work for him to try to keep him employed
And
as
I had to
my
work for you
employee.
to keep your store successful.
Yeah, so we ran a GNC store in Salt Lake, and it was actually one of the top producing GNCs actually for a while. I don't know if it got worse or better when we were running it, but
No, it was peak when we were running it, and it died shortly after when it was you, then you left first, then it was me, and me and Barrett. Then Barrett and I pretty much left at the same time, and then I remember David went and managed there for a little bit, and then he left, and then the store has a problem even just keeping open. I still talk to David, and
well,
he you know
GNC.
and surprisingly, he doesn't work at GNC anymore. He he quit there, quit at GNC I think last year.
Yeah.
So
So
it's just
okay,
GNC is just
well, it's an interesting
it's failed.
background. It's interesting that you had a background of GNC because and I feel like I had I was there for 4 years, and I loved health and supplements before working there. Really, like I was involved in them, but then learning more as an employee there. So we're kind of like little mini pharmacists in a way working at GNC because you have to basically you're providing pills and herbs and you're kind of pretending that you're a doctor in some ways, depending on your level of knowledge and
A
expertise. But
natural doctor, and then and I guess you go with more of a athletic to I mean, I guess bodybuilding aspect with the whole sports supplement side with the creatine, the protein, pre workout, all that stuff.
yeah, what other aspects are going on in a GNC store then? You said sports, bodybuilding, recovery.
So, from my point of view, you have your sports athletic side, and you have your general health, and then you have ones that specifically target the the elderly to kids. Um, there's also like a small selection of supplements that are targeted particularly for women and for men, more so for the women's side because you have the whole the total lean, heard of that, and then the whole collagen, and that's for women's skin and bone and beauty health. Men's really is just what testosterone pills and some prostrate support. That's really it for men.
Well, anyhow, um, yeah, that's kind of interesting. That's how we ended up meeting, was working at GNC, and
Mm-hmm.
you ended up running a GNC after that. I got out of there,
Mm-hmm.
started selling cars, and have done a bunch of other things. But um, yeah,
Yeah, we
so
just kept in touch we just kept in touch, ever since then. So,
yeah, yeah, well,
all right.
cool.
So, what's the first topic you want to talk about? I'm sure, the viewers have what's not have they're interested in why I in my profile name it says MAGA. So I'm sure they're interested about that. So, do you want me to give you a little explanation why I'm fully supportive of Trump and his movement?
Oh, that's hilarious.
Sure. All right.
Yeah, I guess you did put your name as MAGA Soliday. So
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, you think that Trump is this great white hope situation thing, right?
So
Well, you actually think
I'm
that
not. I'm
Trump's.
not putting that. I'm not going to put it to that perspective
Why are you
where
so political?
why I'm so political now is because America is collapsing, man. this go around and then
uh,
from just
she's
every
so
you know
serious.
I am, and it's just a whole bunch of things. It's just ever since 2020 happened, then every single year after that, and the events that's not only happening in America but around the world. More particularly, not so much Southern America and some Asian countries. It's more particular the white dominated countries, America, Canada, and Europe, because I'm speaking truth. Why do you think there's so much hate on and targeting the whole white male species? Because we're the biggest threat. Because we're the ones, just physically and intellectually, ones that run everything and can overthrow the evil. And that's why they're coming particularly after us, to submit. And we're the ones that are pushing back the most against the whole agenda 2030 by the World Economic Forum and the World Health Organization. Those two organizations, they're the organizations that reside in, I think, Switzerland or Sweden. I think Switzerland. And
I
these
don't
are
even
the
think
elites
you're
of these
right.
are the
I
elites
think
of
you're
the world.
wrong. I think you're kind of wrong because what you're saying there
Wrong on
is a
what?
generalization, and I don't think it's like white males that they're targeting
Yeah, it
specifically.
is. How's it not? The
Well,
whole stupid the whole Democratic and
okay. Well,
moving aside, and then
if
the
they
whole like racist. Oh, you're a white male and blah blah
if they are targeting white males, it's because we've screwed up the worst. And we have the most like
blah.
we have
No,
the biggest
we're the
role.
biggest threat. We're the
Well,
biggest
we're the
threat still.
biggest threat because we've been jacked up. We've been the worst. We've screwed up the most. I mean, because
Yeah,
here's what I'm
true.
trying to
Yeah,
say. Here's what I'm trying to
yeah.
say. The black guys, the Latino guys, the Hispanic guys, like
Other races, yeah.
The Asian guys, they're all running stuff too. Like people are running stuff, and there are successful.
Not really black Americans. More maybe the African countries. I mean, because the black American population is what 13-14%, and there's certain maybe cities down south like Atlanta where it's like a metro for
Dude,
them. But
there's some of my okay. Before I met you at GNC, I met this kid named Cooper. I don't remember his last name, but he was one of the like the best guys that I've ever met. I mean,
yeah,
this is a
I'm not.
this is a smart, this is a sophisticated, thoughtful,
Yeah,
caring,
yeah.
hardworking.
I'm not putting it on race too, because race doesn't matter. It's all about your kind of whatever cultures or societies you're in, and then a lot of it has to do also too with. I believe there's two different types of people in this world. There's freedom thinkers, like people that can actually think for themselves and go search and find out their own truth and just live out what their philosophy and what they believe in. And then there's this other group, which is the problem today, is people who cannot think for themselves and basically that and resort to
Well, I challenge you
yeah,
on
if you
that.
resort to media, government, everything, telling them what to do. Example, the whole COVID thing. People got, with me, myself, I was like, and when I looked into it more and they're pushing this whole, oh, get the vaccine. I'm like, okay, I'm completely healthy. Why do I need this vaccine? And once I figured out, oh, it's a flu virus, okay, and you can take all these natural supplements to help prevent that. I'm like, okay, why won't it go take some random government shot and I'm sorry, I'm anti-government really. I have no trust in them. They're not for the people. They're in for the small group of themselves, and it's now has become they they used to be government used to be working for the people. Now they're turning it to where they want us working for them,
Okay, hold
which is
on.
which is what's going on with the whole this whole fraud that everything's going on,
Okay,
the
hold
whole
on.
scam.
Scam. Okay. I got an issue with this still because what you're saying here is that they're targeting white males, but I don't think that's necessarily
Oh, particular
true.
government, yeah.
I think that if anything, you gotta get back to like, these people still think for themselves too. They're just different value structures. It seems like. So for
Right.
you, you're listening to Trump. You're listening to certain voices, and then there are
Lot
certain voices
and
that you're listening to that you're against. And I'm against the ones that they're listening to as well, because they're
I know.
the people who are for the vaccine, that are for science and all that. They're kind of like these rebellious types, and it seems like they
Yeah.
have more of a problem with authority or normal ways of doing things. And I think it's partially due to the fact that or a possible fact that they're just hurt people, or they're like tired of the way things are. They are on drugs. They got abused. They knew a lot of like really conservative type people that were really smart or educated people or whatever, and they have this desire to not be like certain people, so they change and they morph into like these unique creatures with purple hair, or they go gay or whatever it is, and they
A,
want
a
to
lot of
feel.
that, a lot of that, in my opinion, is mental illness. Straight up mental illness, brainwashing by whatever the hell they view, particularly on the web, because a lot of these people, they're they're kind of socially retarded, and they have, and you talk to a lot of them like, oh, I have this anxiety, because they have they're they're, they're antisocial. I'm like, okay, would be anti, go work a sales job, or go
I don't know if they're all
service job.
antisocial though. They're very
Not all of them,
social.
but a
They're
lot
very
of them,
social,
they're
but
weird.
they don't like
They're
certain
weird.
types of
They're
people,
very
is what I'm
weird.
saying. Like they
Yeah,
don't
they're
like
very
the
weird.
successful people, or the normal
Yeah,
people, because they feel like they're not normal, or they feel like they have to
yeah.
be different, or I don't know what it is.
No, a lot of them is not taking accountability, and then a lot of them too. People are followers. Like, oh, I gotta follow, like the sheep-minded mentality is what I like to call it.
Yeah,
Can't think for themselves. Go
but
with the populace, or
okay.
even though it's not really popular, but it's pushed out there more because it's just so
Okay,
crazy and
yes. Okay, but we're all
idiocracy at
followers.
its
But
finest.
but we're all followers of something, of somebody. We're all following
Mm.
somebody.
Well, the only
So,
follower you should be is your belief of Christ. The only follower you should have is Christ, or
okay.
whatever other religion that you fall part of. So,
Okay, yeah, that's the ideal in my opinion,
right,
right? Or
yeah,
anyone's opinion is to follow like
like,
God.
yeah,
But dude,
and
those books are confusing, and some people don't believe in religion. They don't believe they have to
right,
because it's constricting.
right. So, basically, with me, what I these past 4 years of what I've been experiencing that I don't like, that hasn't happened before the whole COVID thing. That's what's going on. So before COVID, there what yeah, there you had your gays and trannies, everything like that, but they minded their own business. They're regular people. Just hey, they just like a certain thing sexually, a certain lifestyle. No problem with it. Like hey, go ahead. As long as you're not doing harm, to people, then you're fine. This whole LGBTQ movement, the flag, it's not really support for the gays. It's a satanic movement. How I would say that is because the whole message is the whole have you think a certain way, or have you take action on terms of transitioning to this crazy shit, to either want to be a man or a woman, or even to oh I'm a they call them, I don't know the term, but people want to, oh, I'm a dog, or I'm a cat, or I'm this, or or I'm like, no, that's insane. And then what I don't like is they have these whole parades and rallies where they have it's majority, and it's really majority, these low life pedophilic men that they're allowed to be naked in front of fucking children, and I blame the parents who bring their fucking children to these rallies to have them exposed
They're
to
not
this
bringing their
craziness.
children doing fucking,
Yeah,
man.
they are. They're bringing
They're
children to
not
this
doing
fucking
fucking.
craziness.
They're not doing
Oh,
fucking.
I'm sorry
Stop
for
saying
cursing
that.
again, but that's what and I will call them out to the face, and that's why I don't like. And just let me run off a little bit. And this what's going on in the country. Well, I'm all for immigration because obviously we need it. I'm not for illegal immigration, and that's what is majority is happening. That is number one, in my opinion, the biggest issue we have in this country, and it's the biggest attack by these fucking elites. You know that's happening to other countries. They want to collapse societies and economies by bringing in all these influx of all these immigrants on these war torn countries, and then you have the particularly with our situation where they have cartels in Mexico. They make these illegal immigrants pay them a ransom for protection and to bring them up to the border and then to release them. So you have cartels um, doing making money off that, and then if they, you know, obviously with children and certain women, they will human traffic them, you know, and then there's that big issue as well, and a lot of the powers we have in our government right now, they're on the Epstein list, man. They're all for pedophilia and all this crap. And a lot of these countries is not majority in our situation. It's we have some like South Americans, some of the Africans, and then a little bit Middle Eastern. That's and a lot of them they released a lot of them from their jails, mental institutions, and they just put them over here in America for us to deal with. And and for statistics, Venezuela, El Salvador, particularly more El Salvador. So Venezuela, their percentage was like 72% down for violence, and a lot of that because of the people they shipped off to other countries, particularly Canada and America. El Salvador, that was more because of the president change. And I sent you that video of just he had this whole operation against particularly the MS-13 gang that's been that corrupted that country with crime and others as well. They're just a evil satanic group, and then they pretty much almost wiped them all out. You know, and then protecting, and then just his economy plan is for the El Salvadorans. You know, they live a lot more peaceful lives and flourishing through, just financially as well. But so the migration thing is the biggest issue, and then throughout the years too, just the and there's a lot more that are not put on the news, but the ones that are put on the news, these killings and these rapes that have been happening. There's stories in Texas and Georgia. I'm sure you heard the name Laken Riley. You know what happened to her, and in New York City, just like about 3 months ago, this policeman he made a pull someone over, and he got shot for no reason because this guy had a criminal record and he was illegal. And the particularly, and then you have these sanctuary cities, and particularly these sanctuary cities, the particularly the people that live in them are the Hispanics and blacks, and they're and they're coming and attacking their
I
communities,
don't
and
think
then
that's like all of them, dude. And I don't even know if there's
no,
other
not all of them,
reasons that
but
they're letting them in the
it's a
country.
it,
There might be economic benefits that we're not talking. Certain people would say that that's not the case.
there is, but
But there's got to be
illegal should
benefits.
not be here. Illegally, yeah, but the illegals, no, and the legals, and then because we have a lot of legals, and we're giving out free handouts of giving them prepaid debit cards, having them stay in beautiful hotels that are all paid for, and food and free child care and all this stuff, and where was any of that for us, the American people? And you have, particularly, what I'm really pissed off about is you have how many thousands of homeless veterans on the street, and you take care of these criminal, lazy
Well, that's there.
immigrants are all for
I don't think
handouts.
that the homeless veterans necessarily are totally out of it. I think they've always had certain, like, the homeless people here in America, they're provided for pretty well. I mean, I don't think that's changed over the last few years. It used to be that way.
No,
Like
not really.
there was
There's
there's rumors that I heard that, as long as someone wasn't using drugs, for example, they could go to the homeless
yeah,
shelter every single night and get food. Better than what we would eat as
yeah,
like college students at the time.
and
But
and
the point
I
was
particularly
is
picked
they
out
need to not
veterans,
do certain
not
things.
I know I picked out particularly veterans, not because and I agree, like the homeless people. A lot of the big issue is them not able to get off drugs, and then some of them stay in that lifestyle just because they're so. they're so handicapped to the high, as you call it, and a lot of it also, either be a drug addict or alcohol addict. A lot of them have mental illness too from their past life that they haven't been treated for. But it all comes down to the person to seek help and wanting to change. And the problem, the ones that are not, from the military, though, the ones that are hooked on in terms of for drugs, alcoholism, or mental illness, and are not wanting to change or seek help to fix themselves. Those people, you cannot help because they don't want it. But I think there should be just other extra certain programs, or just a more of a push to help out veterans, women or men, that, even if they're struggling with the same problem, those people, I believe, deserve certain incentives to get their lives fixed if they act on it and want it, because they served our country, compared to the ones that are just like a regular homeless person.
Yeah, I like that.
And though they're not getting the resources, but these illegal immigrants are. No. And then and also too, with the whole, another point I want to bring up too is this whole body positivity movement, and how contradicting it is. Oh, it's all support for women, but not for men. If you're a fat man, you get ridiculed daily and in society. But for women, you want to, oh no, you're fine just the way you are, and blah blah blah. Men should accept you the way you, and all the way you are. You're unhealthy, and then they're giving out. Well, remember that picture I showed you of the woman who won Miss Alabama, and she would look like she's a complete hog. I'm sorry, fatness is not acceptable in anything. Okay, specifically and particularly men. Like,
Some
we're very
people
visual.
like
We're very
fat women.
visual.
Some
Okay,
people like
and
fat women. Some people are lustfully driven towards porn stars, for example.
that is a small portion, and they're kind of messed up themselves. Like,
No, dude,
majority,
that's
I'm going
over.
by majority. Yes,
Hey, but here's the
yes.
thing, dude.
Or some
Society,
people have such low self esteem that they'll resort to a fat woman because that's all they can get.
I think they're just
There's
desperate. I
those
think
too.
that people are just desperate to get views and to get attention to certain things.
Oh,
And
yeah, I'm
and
talking about
I think
society.
I
Like,
think
you
if I
go
was
off.
to be married to a woman that was kind of fat, like, it wouldn't be that big of a deal as long as she's loyal, as long as we love each other, as long as she's pretty, takes care of herself. I think there's a level of fatness that's actually very attractive. There's like people that are too skinny look
There's
horrible.
different. Like, I don't mind if you're overweight, but if you're
People that are
fat or obese, no.
anorexic are just, dude, they're just as
Yeah,
bad
I'll
to
agree with
look
that
at
as
as someone
well.
that's like grotesquely obese. It's a matter of health. I think in any case, people that are healthy are better. Okay, pure and
Yeah,
simple. Maybe that
absolutely.
person that won Miss blah blah blah, maybe she had enough talents and good look,
No,
like
no.
yeah, whatever.
Sorry,
I don't
no,
know. I don't even
no.
care about that
Go,
because
go, go,
I
go
don't
go
pay
look. Go look
attention
at
to
the
the
story.
beauty queen things.
She's obese, dude.
So
Sorry,
she
obese.
might have talents. She might be a genius,
It's a
dude.
beauty pageant, Mark. You don't need talents for a beauty pageant.
For
It's all
which
by looks.
what
She doesn't
pageant
have a
was it?
look.
What pageant was it?
She's not having a pretty fat woman.
What pageant was it?
She won Miss Alabama. Look it
Okay,
up.
Miss
And this
Alabama
woman,
is
and
more
one in
than a
Rhode
beauty
Island was a
contest.
tranny.
It's more than
A
a
tranny won Rhode Island. Won a Miss Rhode Island. She's a fucking tranny. It's a man.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, that's horrible. It's
Well,
horrible.
not
But
that.
listen, dude, a
If you see
beauty
the women's
pageant, you don't
clothing,
even
see
know what a
like
beauty pageant is.
advertisements for plus size, plus size.
Yeah, but you don't even
Where's that
know.
in men?
Oh my
What about the
gosh.
men?
It
Why
doesn't
isn't there
matter.
plus size men?
It doesn't matter. Here's the thing. In these contests, like beauty pageant or whatever you call it, but it's more than that. Miss America is a beauty pageant along with
It's all
talent.
physically, Mark. I don't want to hear
It's
that
not
bullshit.
all
All physically.
physical. No, it's
Yes, it
not.
is.
No, it's
Women are
not. It
being
never
all
has been.
physical. Yes.
The
Yes,
beauty
it
thing is
is.
a part of
That's what I
it.
put.
It's not just a looks thing though. They also have a
Well,
talent and they have to
beauty's
have
not fat,
skills.
Mark. Beauty's not fat or obese. If you have a little bit extra, that's fine. She is obese. You want to see a picture of her?
I've seen it. You sent me one. I'm
Okay.
just saying that pageant isn't just a beauty contest. You've never
I
probably
know,
even
but
watched
the
it.
main.
You've
That's the
probably
main
never watched
component.
it.
That's the main component, Mark.
It's maybe like a larger component, but there's still other aspects that make one person win that
Mark,
thing.
Mark, be real. That's like saying a man,
Do
a
you have
fat man,
did you
winning a bodybuilding competition.
No, it's
That's the same
not.
concept.
No, it's
Yes, it
not.
is.
No,
Yes,
it
it is.
isn't.
Because
No. Bodybuilding is like strictly
it's still the
muscles.
look. It's like whoever's built the best, the striations or muscular. It's physical competition,
No,
Mark.
it's not. They have bikini
Yes,
contests
it
for
is.
that. It
Are you
Mr.
arguing with this?
Dude, at Mr. Olympia,
Oh
they
my
have a
God.
bikini contest, they have a fitness contest, they have all these different
Yes, and that's
contests for
all. That's all
women.
physically.
Dude, a beauty
Physical.
a Miss America is like, what contest would that be? It would be like,
It's the same thing.
no, it would be like GQ, but GQ
No.
men or something like this. The sexiest man of the year. He's not just going to be good looking, bro. He's going to have millions of
I
dollars,
know
if
that.
not billions.
I'm talking about
And
particularly for women.
it's all bullshit, right? It's all bullshit. It's all part of this vain BS sinful culture, bad. I think this is the point of the whole conversation, is that you feel like white males are the ones that are suppressed. We are oppressed, dude. It's hard to be a man.
No. Well, I'm
But
not
but
saying
at the
fully
same
suppressed.
time, it's hard to
have
be a black man.
support for
It's hard to
certain
be a
things.
Latino man,
Oh,
because you got to
absolutely.
work
It's
and
hard.
but the
I'm not talking
culture's
about race. It's
corrupt.
hard to be a man in general.
Yeah, but it's hard to be a
We're
woman
the
too.
ones that are not getting supported as much. It's hard to be a woman too, obviously, but women have a lot more support and resources from the outside world compared to men. A man is really be told, hey, you gotta figure out, man, you're a man, like step up or figure out yourself. Where women's like, it will be like, oh, it's okay, we're gonna support you for this and that, and men don't have that.
Well, some women live a crappy life. Some women live an easy
Yeah, but a
life,
lot of that is by
and
choices
and
too.
there's a lot of problem. I think that this conversation, in all conversations, I think they could be resolved, and things could be fixed if human beings in general, or I should say, not human beings, people, man and women, men, women, children, all the above, grandparents, young, there needs to be some level of goodness and
Not good is you want to be a contributor
righteousness.
to society. You want to because as
Righteousness.
humans we're all designed for have special sort of skills, right? And then you want to be able to use whatever particular skill you have to help other people. The main thing is helping other people. We're all
And
and people
hey,
who you don't.
maybe that's why the illegals are here, man, because they need to help us. We
No.
need them.
No, there's a lot of legals that have criminal backgrounds, Mark.
Who cares,
Also,
dude?
some. No,
I have a criminal
Yeah, it
background. I have a criminal background. Let's say,
no,
for
their
example,
criminal background is like murders, drugs, like the fentanyl drugs, pedophiles and shit like that.
well,
And they're illegal.
I don't know
You
that
cannot
because
be
I haven't
in our
met
country
them.
If you're illegal, if you're going through the legal process, okay. But if you're illegal over here, no.
So what are we gonna do
We
about
want to be
it?
allowed in their fucking country. If we were illegal, hell no.
So you think Trump is the answer?
To get rid of illegals, yeah, because he has a track record of it. He had and I believe in almost all of his. I'll probably say 99% of his policies. Yeah, I don't go by the man. I go by policies. And what I really like about him is he has a track record of success of whatever he, I guess, promised or implemented. He does it, and he's a man of no bullshit. He's very blunt, and I'm how I speak. I like that because
I think
don't
Kennedy.
give me the bullshit.
What
Give
about
me,
Kennedy?
Give me your plan. Give me your policy, and give me what you're gonna do. And you're not afraid to call out the bullshit. That's why all these attacks are going. And just today, like there was a threat on his life, and then now there's an investigation with the servers trying to find this man who threatened Donald Trump's life. He went down to Arizona today to speak, and then they discovered like someone imposed a threat to his life.
So what about Kennedy?
Well, he's going to drop out of the race, and I hope he makes a smart decision. And they're saying he's most likely going to do it. If he endorses Trump and and becomes part of his team, then great. Then we'll get all those type of voters on our side, and that's going to help us even more in terms of the crazy rigged election we have to fight to overcome the overcome the rigs. Because if it's a fair, he would, oh my god, he would blow that her out of the waters, him or her out the waters. It's not. And you see it through the support and through the rallies. He has thousands, and then the other Democrat rallies, they have uh, sometimes less than 1,000, or maybe like a couple thousand here and there. And Trump has thousands and thousands and thousands everywhere he goes.
There's a lot of
And
people that
and
hate
he's been
Trump.
going to a lot of Democratic run cities, Democratic states, and he's still getting thousands and thousands of support. And the people and the Democrats have yet to go to a Republican state or city for to for to God damn, I can't think of the word. For rallies. Not one. Trump's been to many throughout the country.
Well, I
What
have
does
a
that say?
neighbor. I have a neighbor. He's pretty well convinced. I love hearing people's opinions. I don't watch the news. I haven't watched the
Yeah.
news in days.
No, and then a lot of the
I know
news is bullshit
the
too.
Democratic convention is running right now or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
He's
And they're voting like,
this neighbor thinks Trump is just trash. I mean, he this guy was in the military. I asked him if he believes in conspiracy theories, like with the government doing a bunch of stupid stuff with
he's
wars.
military. Well,
Oh yeah, and
I'd love to
and
talk to
he
that
he
person.
thinks Trump is he thinks Trump he's been convicted of all these things. He thinks he's a criminal, and
Criminal of what? Criminal of what could be? Obviously,
he
criminal
thinks
what could be exempt.
He thinks Kamala Harris is gonna win, no doubt, because they're trying to implement these plans. You know, these world like
Yeah.
economic
Okay.
forum
Yeah.
or whatever.
And that's the
And he's
threat.
saying
Yeah.
no matter what, she's gonna win, but he still doesn't like Trump. And
Well, I'd love to talk to that
and then
fool.
he also thinks that in the year 2024, that when the Olympics comes to LA, that they're
You
going
mean
to
2028?
2028, sorry. When the next Summer Olympics comes to LA in 2028, he thinks that I think they proposed this already. Someone said this somewhere. He told me this, that they're implementing some policy that like everyone that goes to the Olympics has to use public transit. It's going to be like a no car zone. So he thinks his conspiracy theory is that they're going to use that to roll out this new thing where they try to get rid of all of our cars.
Well, not that. Well, they're pushing the whole electric vehicle mandate, and that's another big thing that I am totally against. You cannot force people. You should give them freedom of choice.
Yeah, so he's
And
saying that by 2030
our infrastructure doesn't support electric vehicles either.
in
In our
2034,
grid, it
isn't
doesn't.
it 2034 that or 2035 we're supposed to get rid of all the gas vehicles or something?
I thought by 2030.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But he believes that all of that's playing into this and that they're doing this big. That's what they're going to
Yeah,
do to
yeah.
test it
There is.
out.
I told you there is a whole agenda, but there's few people that are in the way, and it's really going to come down to the people, man. Because the see, our country is divided more than ever, and Trump's trying to bring them in more and more. You're having a lot of Democrats in the past going to our side, and really just the only thing that will make change is if it gets bad, there needs to be a revolution, and I'm all for it. And because I tell you what, yeah, because if he doesn't get in, then I need to make a plan to leave or join the fight because I'd rather be in prison or die than live in the country we're heading towards. To Mm-mm. I'm sick of the struggle. I'm sick of dealing with these these moronic people that can't think for themselves. I don't want legal immigration. I want just like who wants this heavy inflation we have going on right now? Who wants an electric vehicle mandate instead of freedom of choice to choose between gas or electric? And who wants not to be able to own a home? You have all these mega corporations buying homes so you rent, and the whole agenda they're trying to make uh, lab grown meat too, particularly red meat, instead of using our the real animal. Who wants that? And who wants this whole feminist LGBTQ movement that is just brainwashing people, and it's all for mainly to they
I
want
would say
to
it's
slow down the birth rates. And at the Democratic convention, they had fucking bans for abortions and vasectomies.
they do, yeah,
That
but those
explains
are
right there. They want depopulation.
well. I guess it
And,
sounds
and, and the
like
whole point of the whole inflation and housing crisis and everything like that is to because it costs a lot of money to have support children. And if you can't, if all your money's going to that, then you can't have a child.
well, it sounds like people need to make more money.
Well, that's easier said than done when the market for their pay rate or salary doesn't match up to inflation. So how are they able to make more money when the salary and the pay rate is not matching up to inflation?
They need to become entrepreneurs and start changing
Oh,
things.
that only a very few people can do that, and you need money anyways to start that. And I'm okay, and I'm sorry, I grew up really poor. I know entrepreneur is not it's just not my way. Okay, and because it's something it's a business that you can either passionate about or you have skillful any skills or any type of history be able to do that. And the only thing I can think of to where I can maybe possibly pursue that is if I somehow become a because my ultimate goal I want to become a personal trainer, right? And if I'm able to successfully do that, well, the entrepreneur route is able to then work for yourself. Then you have to obviously have to do a online business as well. But I'm not even thinking about that until I actually have to get my certification. I have to get the experience at at gyms and getting and maintaining clientele. And then once you build and once you know the structure of that and know how to do the business of that part, well then hey, if you're able to take some of that clientele away from the gym and then have them strictly for yourself. But the problem with that is you're going to need a gym always to be able to train them, and
Sounds like you need to move out here to
they take a
Utah.
cut of that.
Sounds like you need to
What's
move out
that?
here to Utah. You need to buckle in
No,
and fight the fight because nothing's happening out there in Iowa, dude. And you need to get your certification. I can hook you up with a gym trainers out here, get you going with EOS Fitness. Sound good?
I have no. I don't want to live out in Utah again.
Come on, man. There's plenty of fight to be fought out here in Utah, man. Let's go.
Same with Iowa too.
Well, I'm just kidding,
I'm
but
more safe. I feel more safer in Iowa because Iowa we have the crazy rednecks. So the farmers and that they don't play no games. You think they're gonna and the whole attack they want to get rid of our Second Amendment and also they're attacking our amendments, our First and Second Amendment with freedom of speech. You see this on certain platforms, all the major platforms like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. If you say a certain thing, if you're a certain point of view, you either get shadow banned or deleted. The only social media market that has not market social media platform that has free speech right now is Twitter or AKA X that was bought from Elon Musk.
yeah, well,
And the whole gun thing, yeah, they talk about assault weapons, which is fine, but no, they want to push that forward. They want to go to where they have it, like in the UK and England, where all guns are illegal. But here's the point: you think that's going to stop criminals? Criminals get everything illegally, so we have no way to protect ourselves, and it's really protect ourselves from the government. And no, and if they ever try to do that shit, there's gonna be a lot of deaths and them trying to come take people's guns. There's gonna be a lot of deaths in that, and that means you have our government attacking our own people. And if stuff goes down, I don't know, because the military and like National Guard is really what is the protection. And I don't know. It's they're
Have
gonna
you
have to
thought
choose a
about
side.
joining?
They're gonna have to choose a side. They're gonna choose a side of good versus evil, and hopefully they're not on the government side. Hopefully they're for the people. And so that's what it's really going to come down to is whichever the military and whichever the side the military's on. Are they on the people's side or are they on the government side? So
Right.
that's what it's going to determine how things go. How things go.
Well, I think you got some valid points, got some valid concerns. I don't know exactly what the solutions are or what we can do to really help,
Well,
but
I know a solution. Trump's policies are the solutions, man. Get rid of all those illegals, and then the main thing, what the reason why of all these inflation is oil. They shut down the Keystone Pipeline in our country, and they're getting oil from overseas where we have so much oil in our own country. So that's going to create more jobs as well. So we start producing, getting our own oil, uh, and from our country. Well, then that's going to drive because everything is by energy, right? So you're not get start doing that. Well, that's why he used the term drill, baby, drill. Get our own oil. Well, then that's going to support everything through getting all of our goods. Obviously, bring down gas, and then that's going to bring down prices in food and living, and then he's going to knock down the oil. I mean, well, then having that gas and oil energy too, because that's what supports the housing crisis as well, because that's going to bring down the property taxes, the interest rates, and have affordable homes. Um,
here's the thing. I think you're I think you're on to like I like your conservative beliefs and opinions and how you're following very closely with these conservatives and stuff. And I actually do believe in
I just
all
want
that.
common sense. I
I
just
I
want
know
success,
I
common sense,
know
and a fair shot.
I
That's what I
get
want.
that. I get that, but like don't you think deeper than that ever where you think that that part is all a conspiracy too? Like the whole thing is orchestrated even more than we
No,
think it
because
is.
if it's implemented, which he did, we have a trial run of Trump as presidency, and it was successful. So yeah, there's your proof right there. And
Well,
he's laying
okay.
out. He's basically laying out the
Here,
same
okay,
plan.
now listen, hear me out on this. So Trump's in the office. Everybody's going through living their normal lives. People are going into debt. They're trying to make money. They're living their normal lives. They're going to school, yada yada, creating sin. They're living in sin. They're doing stupid stuff. Some people are not. Some people are preparing for the future. Some people are, staying healthy. A few people. A lot of people are on prescription drugs. A lot of people are on their insurance money. They're like the medical field is making its money and everyone's doing everything, and then all of a sudden you got the pandemic, and boom, it shuts down the whole economy for a while. And
Yeah.
Trump's like the bad guy, but then he kind of comes in and he helps get the vaccine going, and then Biden, he becomes the new president, and then Biden hikes everything up, and they pay everyone out so much
It
money.
started with day
They
one. He shut down the Keystone Pipeline, which are the main resource for oil and gas.
Yeah, but they gave all these people money. They shoved like 1,200
Illegals.
bucks
Yeah.
in. Everybody got like 1,200 bucks during COVID. Like shut the whole like government
Oh
down.
well, I mean, going back then, I'm talking
Yeah,
about when Biden
I'm
was
going
president.
back. I'm going back.
But
So like they gave all these
and
people money, and then the next thing you know, all these people spend the money, and interest rates are super low. So people with money, they make a lot more money, right? And all the poor people, they just spend that money really quick. It goes right back into the freaking into the economy, right up to the rich people again. And then you have all these people who are stupid spending so much money on credit cards and this and that. And then what happens is they raise the interest rates up so high that where people can't even afford to pay their own bills. And so they have to stop spending. They have to become more conservative. They have to really evaluate their lives and cut off all the things that are draining money from them without reason, right? So this whole thing happened over the last 2 or 3 years. It's been rough, dude. It's been rough for a lot of people because it's just
yeah,
more expensive, right? And if you're not making
Everything.
big money, if you're not making enough money, like if you don't have a good income, then you're really stressed and you have to cut out all your
Yeah.
little simple pleasures in order to live life. So then that's what's happened is the government gave us good times, but then they squeezed it way down, and it sucked. But in some ways, it's been good because a lot of us have had to reevaluate our lives, reevaluate our habits, and look at ourselves, plain and simple, like how we really are, and say, what are we doing? Are we doing good, or are we being stupid? And I think now
Yeah.
we're in a good position. Like a lot of people have fixed their
Woken up.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've woken up, and now we're in a place where if the good stuff does become more affordable, are we just going to run out and go spend all of our money again? Are we just going to go run
Well,
out
here's
and
the thing.
sign up
What we
for
need
every
that is a
stupid
capitalist
thing?
society, and you have a bunch of businesses. I have the numbers actually right here of major businesses of how many of them have closed down, and it's a capitalist society. We need people to spend money to, because that's how things get grown. That's how businesses flourish, um, and also to upgrade in life. Like I've been stuck here. Like it's hard to save any kind of money to whatever future plans you want to do in terms of, hey, you need, like, well, personally for me, I need this, money to pay for my certification. You need money to pay for college, and I need to get a new vehicle. Um, and I think the biggest crime of all is the price of food, which is just it's like the basic necessity for just living, and it's ridiculous how freaking a gallon of milk or a thing of eggs is, and you get like a cart full of not even a full carton is almost a couple $100. And I'm fortunate that I live in the Midwest. That yeah, inflation still sucks, but compared to like East Coast states or West Coast, and how expensive their their food prices are, I'm like, man, I don't know how I would be able to survive off of just my payroll, and then you have those people, and where the government likes that because then you depend on them for food assistance, for food stamps, and that should not happen just to pay for the basic goods. So here are the numbers. It's a lot of it for businesses that have closed down. There's still some that are going on, but these are the numbers that have happened across the country of stores that have closed down because of theft and inflation. Walmart has closed 23 stores around around the country. Target 9. Walgreens is pretty much Walgreens, CVS actually could be going out of business. They closed over 900. Bed Bath Beyond, they're basically going to be they're basically going to go out of business. Lowe's is 50. Macy's 150 stores. Freaking, I mean, there's a whole bunch. Gap, Foot Locker, and even the fast food, you have Burger King closed 400 stores around the country. Kroger, you have banks closing. U.S. Bank closed 23 branches around the
No
country. Wells
Kroger
Fargo
is
closed
no
60. Capital One closed
Kroger
50.
no Kroger is shutting down, dude.
No, I'm not. I'm just not
Kroger?
sure
Why'd you
completely.
say
I'm saying
Kroger?
I'm saying they stores of them have closed.
What? Kroger?
Kroger, yeah, 413 stores across the country have closed. Kroger stores have closed.
From when?
From when?
Yeah,
I
what's
don't
the
know the
time
exact
frame?
timeline, but let's just say from these past 3 years.
Where did you look that up?
Look it up.
Where did you find
Well,
that information?
I found this information just online on Google. I don't know where exactly because I it was March 30th when I screenshotted these statistics, but just I look I found a just a web link on Google, and then because I think during that time it was the whole theft that was going on around just your local stores, and then and then yeah, just doing some research, and then there was a an article, and then just explained like all these. They gave the numbers on just certain businesses around the country and how many of them have closed down during that time. So I don't know where exactly, but it's just when I was This is when I was doing my research on just through Google on. And it started off really just research on the theft that's been going on, and as you just go down the rabbit hole, you start clicking on more different things until I found an article where it had all these all these statistics. So I don't know where exactly I can't give you that, but I have the screenshots here for the and then there's no way you can make up these numbers. I mean, there's like 30 different businesses here of all these different all these main businesses that they have closed down around the well, just not the business itself, but stores. And then you have, and I'm sure you heard in cities like Chicago or Seattle, where even like Walmart, Walmart, they shut down stores and then relocated because of the thefts. I mean, California, they have a law: if you steal under $1,000, you won't get arrested, or you're free to go.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So you have people going there for exact, and then I mean, sure you've seen videos of people going in stores and this Apple stores they grabbing all the like laptops and iPhones and just run out the store, and then they just have their just watch them go by and do it.
It's crazy. I
Mm-hmm.
witnessed someone in California steal bags full of ibuprofen and like pharmacy
Yeah,
pills.
and you have in these stores, it's crazy in these democratic cities they have things that's locked. You see all these things locked up, even simple as getting like drinks or anything, or little snacks or food. Everything's all locked up. Or,
Yeah,
I mean,
they have
explain
to
that.
because they have to,
They have to,
man.
yeah, because of the laws. And then the police force across the country, they can't even do their jobs. And a lot of them in certain cities have left the force, and they're struggling to get new recruits or keep on policemen, and then there's chaos everywhere.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this election.
Me too, man.
It's been a rough few
I'm a little worried.
years.
I'm just hoping. I mean, I know Trump's plan is in terms of trying to fight against the trying to fight against fraudulent votes. Um, I forgot the name he used for him. It's something called like Operation Two. I think it's called Operation Too Big to Rig. So he's just gathering this all across the country like people who want to participate in this. I think they get paid for it too. Is like when they go to the voting booths to closely watch the the ballots and votes and to make sure everything is fair as possible.
Okay.
Where what happened like where in 2020 where they put a pause and then overnight they're bringing out thousands and thousands of ballots underneath desk, in the next few days then you have these states that were Trump was winning and all of a sudden it flips to Biden because it was rigged, and they want the same thing to happen
It's hard
again.
to say. It's hard to say, man. There's a lot of people that still would vote for Biden or for Harris.
Yeah, well,
They hate Trump. That's for sure.
and those are the type of people. Most of them are mentally ill. Those people do not live in reality, and or those people they hate themselves a lot of it too, and there's some people that legit just want chaos.
They would hate you.
And good, because I'm good. I would confront every single one of them, and if they want to act violent with me, I would, man. Most of them couldn't mess with me anyways. I would snap all their necks with them like that. Those people I have no sympathy for.
That's
There's
fine.
certain people that it's
Can
harmful,
you
yeah. But
restrain
sorry,
yourself?
those people need to fucking first they didn't go to mental asylums, or they need to maybe get a punch in the face of reality, like and then or Disney be woken up to truth and be like, or like, don't you see what's going on? So I ask these people, oh, so do you like not being able to pay your rent? Do you like not being able to pay for food? Do you like all like how you have no life that all you do is work to be able just to get by? Do you like family struggling? Do you like this message that's pushing on towards children and everything about sex change, and then you have these schools that teaching them like getting exposed to sexual things. That's not right. You're not trying to brainwash children like that. And you have all these all these universities that have these bullshit. I'm gonna say that word bullshit degrees like political science or body this or that's the main thing, but which don't get you nowhere. And or you think it's okay to what's another thing? Here's the main thing. Oh, you think it's okay to have illegal criminals in our country too? I'm like, oh, really? Okay. If you think that's okay, then they're looking for shelter. Why don't you invite them into your home? Why don't you help them? Oh no, you're against that, right? Yeah, or they're hypocrites. Out there, a lot of them are losers. They're hypocrites. They're mentally ill, and or a lot of them don't live in reality. So that's what I got to say to them. And I'll welcome anybody. I
On a
don't care who it is,
debate.
anybody
On a debate.
that's against it. Yeah.
All right.
Well, I prefer more straight face
All
to
right.
face.
Next time next call we're gonna do a debate on here. No, we're not gonna do that. We don't want to get violent. Okay. Hey, thanks for this wonderful
okay.
chat.
If you want to bring your crazy neighbor on here, bring him on. I'll tell him I'd love to talk to him.
He's like 64 years old, dude.
Well,
he's
well, that's a bigger problem. You're 64 years old and you're that ignorant and stupid. I'm gonna say that word, stupid.
Don't say that.
To see what's not going on.
You can't say that. You don't know him.
I will say that.
You don't know him. You can't say that, dude.
Okay, but just tell him, hey, there's a guy you want. I'll be respectful of everything too, but I'm also gonna.
He might agree with you on certain things, but he might not like Trump.
Okay.
All right.
Here's my last point. It's fine you don't like Trump. I don't care if you hate him, but it's not a popularity contest. It's about policies and how he's and what and he has his policies all laid out. Does Kamala Harris have her policies laid out? No, they haven't talked about a single thing about fixing the country where Trump has everything laid out to the public.